A quick look over the horizon before we hand you the decision, and we will keep it sober. Not everything changes tomorrow, and not ignore it, just the honest version. Three currents genuinely worth watching and, more useful, what each one means for a decision you are making today. All exciting, all still bounded. First current, agentic AI is maturing. Remember predictive maintenance? It tells you the bearing fails in about 3 weeks. The near future is that same prediction turning into supervised action. The AI drafts the repair plan, checks whether the part is in inventory, proposes a technician and a slot, and opens the work order. And then a person approves before anything is committed. It is not replacing your maintenance planner, it is doing the legwork and handing them a decision. Same guardrails you already know, grounded, supervised, human in the loop, just carrying more of the load. Second current, physical AI and digital twins. A digital twin is a live virtual model of your actual line, fed by its real data, so you can test a change in the model before you ever touch the real machine. Want to try a new changeover sequence? Run it on the twin first. The frontier here, what people are calling industrial world models, is moving genuinely fast. It is promising and it is worth watching. But same rule as everything else we have covered. Promising, still supervised, not magic. And underneath both of those is the current that drives them, the hardware. A big reason AI keeps getting more capable is simply that the computing power running it keeps getting more powerful and more available, more compute, cheaper, in more hands. That is a steady climb in what AI can do and who can afford it. Quantum may extend it later. You do not need the physics. You need the direction, capability keeps climbing, and cost keeps falling. So here is what that direction actually means for you. And it is the useful part. A job where AI is too expensive or too limited today may quietly become worth it in a year or two as the cost falls and the capability climbs. That is genuinely good news. But notice the trap it sets. It will be amazing soon is exactly the reasoning that makes plants overspend on things that are not ready yet. So rising capability is not a reason to chase the trend early, it is a reason to keep your decision discipline sharp and simply recheck the ones that do not pass yet, which is the perfect moment to hand you that discipline. So that is the horizon, named and kept in its place. Agentic AI doing more of the legwork, under supervision, digital twins letting you test before you touch, and a hardware curve, more compute, cheaper, steadily lifting what is possible and lowering what it costs. Exciting, genuinely, and still bounded, still supervised, still yours to decide on. And here is the optimistic part. Nobody is stopping you from getting ready for it. It is always a good idea to look for the right business cases, try a small proof of concept, and start building the muscle. Because the plans that quietly experiment now with a clear head are the ones that will be ready the moment the cost falls and the capability climbs. So the invitation is real. Explore it and let the evidence lead. Which brings us to the one tool that lets you do exactly that with confidence. A simple gate you can run yourself on any AI idea. Here it is then, 4 questions you run before any AI project, before you spend €1, before you sit through a demo. They fit on an index card. And they cost nothing to run. No license, no hardware, just 4 questions asked out loud. This is the gate everything we have covered has been leading to. Here they are. 1. What is the problem in plain plant terms? Not we need AI, downtime, scrap, changeover time, sampling labor. 2. What is the simplest things that could solve it? A rule, a sensor, cleaner data, an optimizer, before any AI at all. 3. What is the measurable business case? Euros saved, points of yield, hours recovered, a number. And 4. Does AI actually beat that simplest option on that number? If it does not, you stop. That is it. The magic is entirely in the order. Problem first, simplest option next, value measured, AI only if it genuinely wins. Let us run it on the Agentic maintenance coordinator from earlier. Question 1. The problem? Unplanned downtime in real hours and euros. Question 2. Simplest option? Keep coordinating repairs by hand like today. Question 3. The measurable case? Downtime hours and euros, the 20 to 40% cut we already counted, plus the planner hours each breakdown eats. Question 4. Does the coordinator beat doing it manually on that number? It drafts the whole plan in seconds, catches the part shortage early, and a person still approves. So it is a go to a pilot held to that number. If the coordination hours do not drop, it stops at the next gate. Notice it passed on a number, not on excitement. Now, a trendier idea. Everyone is buying generative copilots. Let us get one to run our production schedule. Question 1. The problem? Scheduling eats planner time, fair enough. But question 2. The simplest option? A proper optimizer, a scheduling solver. It is built to produce feasible schedules every time. Question 3. The measure? On-time percentage and planner hours. And question 4. Does a generative copilot beat the optimizer on those? No. Remember what we saw earlier. Generative AI cannot guarantee a feasible schedule. It is a liability there, so the gate stops it cold. Not because generative AI is bad, because for this job the simple option wins. That no just saved a very expensive mistake. Why does something this simple work so well? Because the order captures everything we have covered. Problem first. Question 1 refuses to start from the technology. Trend never. Question 2 makes you rule out the boring cheaper option before anything shiny. Value always. Questions 3 and 4 force a real number and make AI earn it. Problem first, trend never, value always. The gate is just that sentence, turned into 4 things you actually ask out loud in a meeting before the budget is committed. So that is the gate, and it is yours now. 4 questions. Problem, simplest fix, measurable case, does AI beat it, run on every idea that lands on your desk, and the go or no-go decides itself, on evidence you can defend. There is a 5th question the card does not print though, and it is the one that quietly decides whether any of this sticks. Who owns it once it is live? The projects that stall rarely fail on the technology. They fail because no one owned them, and the people expected to use them were never brought along. So name an owner and bring your operators in early. One thing left, let us put everything together, the gate, the map of AI types, and the 3-level model, into a single way of thinking you can carry out the door. Cast your mind right back to the very first question we asked. Is the chatbot on your phone what AI is? And could that same thing run your plant? Back then, maybe the answer felt fuzzy. Now you can answer it completely. So here is everything on a single screen. Not new material, just the way of thinking you take back to the plant. Start where we started. AI is not one thing. It is a family sorted by what it produces. Predictive that forecasts and detects, generative that creates, conversational that chats, all riding on machine learning with plain automation beside them, and running straight through it. The one line to remember: machine learning does the math and generative AI does the meaning. That single sentence stops most mistakes before they start. You never ask a language model to guarantee a schedule, and you never buy a heavy, expensive model for a job a simple one does. Once you know what kind of AI a job needs, place it. The 3-level model: operational, real-time control, deterministic, AI only advises. Adaptive: machine learning ranks the options. Generative AI explains the trade-offs. Analytical: machine learning predicts. Generative AI puts it in plain words. And whatever the level, Give it what it needs to be trusted. Ground it in your own data, wrap it in guardrails, keep a person in the loop, and run it in the right place. Map it, place it, ground it. That is the engineering discipline, from grounding to guardrails, in one breath. And over all of it sits the gate. Before anything gets funded, what is the problem? What is the simplest fix? What is the measurable case? And does AI beat that simple option? Watch the whole seed plant resolve. The bagging line stays deterministic, operational, predictive maintenance and vision inspection pay off, proven boring machine learning. The SOP assistant is genuinely useful, grounded in the plant's data, with a person checking. And the trendy generative scheduling copilot? The gate stopped it. One plant, every idea placed and gated, not on hype, on evidence. So here is the whole idea in 6 words. Problem first. You start from the plant floor, never from the technology. Trend never. You rule out the simple, boring option before anything shiny. Value always. AI has to earn its place on a real number. That is it. You came in thinking AI might be the chatbot on your phone. You leave able to see the whole family, place any piece of it, and say a confident yes or an equally confident no. So, that first question, is the chatbot what AI is? It is one valuable corner of a much bigger family, and could it run your plant? Not run it, the line stays deterministic. It advises, it explains, it helps you build, with a person in charge. That is the complete answer. Widen the picture, absolutely, and spend on evidence. That is the honest way to bring AI onto your floor. And that is exactly how I think about it, with you. Thanks for watching.